We're looking at instruction for students with dyslexia or severe reading disabilities, 7 essential terms. Dyslexia affects 3 to 5% of all students. We use the term severe reading difficulties. It is simply a designation. It's not a brain disorder. A designation for those on the lower end of the reading curriculum, 2 or more standard deviations. The brains of students with severe reading difficulties are not qualitatively different than those of other students. They simply have difficulty learning to read. If you need a definition, a condition whereby one has extreme problems using the skills or coordinating the strategies necessary to create meaning with print. 7 essential terms. Confusion here related to these terms is the cause of many ineffective reading interventions and or instruction. So first of all, reading is not sounding out words, is creating meaning with print. Those who think reading is simply sounding out words, barking at print, create ineffective reading instruction and interventions. It is much more than that. The brain uses 3 cueing systems to identify words as we read: semantics, which is context or meaning; syntax, which is grammar or word order; and phonological. So we need to develop all 3 cueing systems, not just phonics or the phonological. The second one is word identification. Now, those are strategies that students use to figure out unknown words as they read. These words are in their lexicon. They know them, but they do not recognize them instantly. And the 4 strategies are morphemic analysis, context clues, analogy, and phonics. Of these 4 word identification strategies, phonics is the least efficient in terms of the amount of space in short-term memory. We should be teaching all 4 strategies. Word recognition. This is the desired end state. You see a word in print, you recognize it instantly, automatically. You don't have to figure it out. Oh, I know what that word is. Decoding refers to using the code phonics to identify unknown words. Now, students with severe reading difficulties often have difficulties processing or using phonics to identify words. That's why we develop all 3 word identification strategies, or all 4, the other 3 along with phonics. If phonics is the only word identification strategy taught, the progress of struggling readers is impeded, not enhanced. It's not the what of phonics, it's the how and the how much of phonics in which people disagree. A strategy is a cognitive process that one consciously applies to a task. Students should be taught to consciously apply all 4 word identification strategies, study skill strategies, and comprehension strategies, to consciously apply it. That's different than a skill. A skill is a cognitive process that has become automated. All right? That is, you don't have to think about it. In reading, we teach the strategy to develop the skill so that students do these cognitive processes or engage in them automatically as they read. Systematic phonics instruction means there's some system or arrangement in place to make sure that the essential skills are taught. And you want to teach the skills, reading sub-skills, phonics, etc., in meaningful context to the greatest extent possible. All students should, you should avoid showing or teaching words in isolation. Systematic phonics also means that you have some system to document when skills are taught and when skills are learned. Now, all teachers believe that phonics is important. Whole language, I'm the holiest of whole language teachers, but I believe in direct and explicit phonics instruction. However, that does not mean you start at one end of the scope and sequence chart and work your way through in a standardized fashion and in a prescribed order. That does not mean that. It simply means you have some system in place to document important skills when they are taught, when students have mastered them. All right, 7 essential terms. Confusion here often creates ineffective instruction and intervention.